Good morning. Saturday, August 6, 2022. Ken Arzon here in Vista, California. Doing a series of videos. Who is the greatest? Baseball's all-time player matchups. Chapter 7. I've done 6 previous videos on this subject. Home run matchups, career average matchups, career runs scored matchups, career runs batted in matchups, career triples matchups, career doubles matchups. This video, career singles matchups. Who has the most career singles to their credit? Pete Rose, 3,215 singles. It's a rare achievement for a player to get 3,000 hits, yet Pete Rose had over 3,000 just singles in itself. Doesn't count as doubles, triples, and home runs, because he ended up with 4,256 hits. Pete Rose, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He should be. That's another video we'll get to one day. You can't deny Pete Rose's accomplishments. How does he match up with the next 24 players with the most singles in the Baseball Hall of Fame? You have Ty Cobb, Eddie Collins, Cap Hansen, Derek Jeter, Willie Keeler, Honus Wagner, Rod Carew, Tris Speaker, Tony Gwynn, top 10. Then you have Paul Molitor, Nap Lajoie, Henry Aaron, Jesse Burkett, Sam Rice, Carl Yastrzemski, Wade Boggs, Stan Musial, Lou Brock, Paul Wainer, top 20. Then you have Ricky Henderson, Robin Yount, Frankie Frisch, Luke Appling, and Nellie Fox. These are the top 25 players with the most singles in the record books. How does Pete Rose match up? Not good with these other players. Why? Only 6 wins, 17 losses, 1 tied. Interesting, isn't it? Ty Cobb beat him first matchup 15-5. Eddie Collins beat him 11-8-1. Camp Hansen beat him 13-7. Derek Jeter beat him 13-7. 20 categories. Forgot to mention, what are the categories? For those who are tuning in, I assume you've seen my previous 6 videos. If you haven't, then what are the 20 categories? I mentioned Ty Cobb won 15-5. He won 15 out of 20 categories. Career average, runs scored, runs batted in, home runs, triples, doubles, singles, total bases, slugging, on base, base on balls, stolen bases, 100 RBI seasons, 100 runs scored season, most runs in a season, most RBIs in a season, highest average in a season, most hits in a season, most 200 hit seasons, and total career hits. Those are the 20 categories. Recap again. Cobb, 15-5 wins over Rose. Next, Eddie Collins, 11-8-1. Next, Camp Hansen, 13-7. 13 wins, 7 losses, 20 categories. Next, Derek Jeter, 13-7 wins. Next, Willie Keeler wins, 13-6-1. Next, Honus Wagner wins 12-8. Next, Rod Carew wins 11-9. That was close. Next, Tris Speaker, 14-6 wins. Here's a tie. Tony Gwynn and Pete Rose. 10-10, 20 categories. They both tied. Next, Paul Molitor wins 11-9. Next, Snap Lajoie wins 13-7. Next, Henry Aaron wins 11-9. Next, Jesse Burkett wins 13-6-1. Next, Sam Rice 11-8-1. Pete Rose hasn't won any yet. In the matchup, he's tied Tony Gwynn, and the rest he's lost. Here's a win. Pete Rose wins over Carl Yastrzemski 12-8. Next, Wade Boggs wins 10-9-1. Close. Next, Stan Musial wins 14-5-1. Here's a win for Rose, his second. He beats Lou Brock 14-4-2. Next, Paul Wainer wins 13-7. Next, here's a win for Rose, his third. He beats Ricky Henderson 11-8-1. Next, Robin Yount. Rose wins 13-7. Next, Frankie Frisch. He beats Cobb 10-9-1. Next, Luke Appling. Rose wins 14-6. Next, Nellie Fox. Rose wins 19-0-1. So how did Pete Rose do in matchups? In the singles categories, the top 5 players with the most singles. Rose has 6 wins, 17 losses, 1 tied. He didn't match up very well, but he's still a great player. You got to give it to him. He leads 3,215 singles. Played 24 years. He had the most at bats too. 14,053. Pete Rose. You got to put him in the Hall of Fame. Somehow, some way. Look at the accomplishments. Over 2,000 runs scored. Over 746 doubles. 3,000. Over 3,000 singles. 1,500 walks. 230 hits in a season. He had 10 200-hit seasons. 4,256 career hits. What a player. All right, that takes care of our singles chapter. Rose was only able to beat Nellie Fox, Luke Appling, Lou Brock, Robin Yount, Carl Yastrzemski, and Ricky Henderson. 6 wins. In matchups, Rose lost to Cobb, Speaker, Musial, Wainer, Lajoie, Jeter, Hansen, Burkett, Keeler, Wagner, Collins, Rice, Carew, Aaron, Molitor, Boggs, and Frisch, and he tied Tony Gwynn. Are all those players better than better than Pete Rose? That can be debated. But as far as matching up their stats in 20 categories, Rose only has 6 wins. Of course, he beats a lot of other players in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But the top 25 who have the most singles, in the singles matchup, Rose 6 wins, 17 losses, 1 tied. All right. What's our next chapter? Total bases matchup. Who has the most total bases? Career. Henry Aaron. 6,856. How does he match up with the following 24 players in the Baseball Hall of Fame with the most total bases? Stay tuned. Thanks for watching here. I'm out.